Hi, LifeWise Academy team. My name is Suzy Gilliland, and I applied for the program coach role with your team. So I came to hear about the position through Gabe Simone. He is the Hilliard Area Director of the FCA, and it was a divine encounter. I was just simply getting some work done on my car at Toyota West there at Georgesville Road. Pulled in to drop my car off, had an appointment, was looking for the person that I was set up to meet, but then a car pulls in behind me in the garage and out walks Gabe. And it was so fun to reconnect with him. We had worked together for a short time when I was on staff with the FCA. And we reconnected, and he was excited to tell me that he had received all of his funding for the year. So we rejoiced over that for a moment. It was great. But then I had to let him know that we didn't receive our funding in my role for Noble. So I was looking for a job. And so he later on that day sent me a link to the recruiting position, because his wife had looked up LifeWise there in Hilliard and was applying for a role. So I looked at that link and then and prayed about that, but then switched back to all of the open roles. And as I looked at the program coach role and the duties there, I really felt that it was more of a good fit for me. The opportunity to be an equipper and more than an admin. Just in my own history and experience, I know that that's a better fit for me. Let's see, my testimony and witness: I came to know Christ as a born-again believer through an FCA retreat as a teenager here in Ohio in Hocking Hills, and then became the prayer leader for our FCA in high school. Moving on, I really felt the baptism of the Holy Spirit not until I was in my mid-20s as a young wife and mother. Quite an experience there, and I would say that I've been in some type of ministry, be it volunteer or paid ministry, ever since. In my local church and other places. Of course, Bible Study Fellowship is a season of training for a lifetime of service. I really was discipled through Bible Study Fellowship International through a women's group there in Grove City, Ohio, for 9 years. All of my kids went through Bible Study Fellowship, and that really taught me and grew me. And through that, I really had a passion to get the Bible into people. And I say it that way because it's not just teaching the Bible. For me, the Bible was a very scary book. I didn't understand. It was so big. I didn't know how to read it for myself. But in learning and through the process over time, it really is so practical in life. I can't live without it, actually. And so I want people to get it in their heart so it becomes a way of life for them. That's my true passion and goal. I was on staff at my church at Village Chapel for 13 years. And so I think that experience has really helped me to see and understand the intricacies of being church staff and working with volunteers and the obstacles that they face. But there came a time and a season where I knew God was doing something new and different in my life. I went and got my master's degree in practical theology, just praying and waiting for when that change would come. And really wanted to transition into more of the marketplace and workplace and business. I've been working with Noble for the last 3 years, and that really has expanded. That I have a great passion and love for God's church, the whole church. I'm really passionate about unity in the local church. I would love to share more stories about that for us at Village Chapel, as well as I've spent the last few years just visiting churches all over the state whenever I travel. I love seeing the greater hand of God at work in the unity of the church globally. And so that is really my passion, to break down those denominational walls and really see what things we are united on, those indisputable truths that unite us, not divide us. And so I'm very passionate about that. And I have built a great network through Noble of multiple churches. I kind of coordinated their different locations through different churches, dozens. Anyway, when it comes right down to how God has moved and my experience, I think it's more about not so much about what I've done or what God has even done through me, but in working with all of the skills and giftedness of other people, I've seen that my spiritual giftings are more general. And so I really am just passionate about doing whatever work God has put in front of me, and I'm all in when He calls. And so I'm really looking forward to this new season of my life and new time of ministry. And I know that God is putting all the pieces together in a very timely, miraculous way. To follow His plan for my life. I would love the chance to sit down with your team, share stories, pray, and see what if I am a good fit for the LifeWise team. I do want LifeWise Academy to be successful in all you do. And if I'm a piece of that team or a part of that puzzle, I'm all in and want to be there. But if it is someone else, I would pray full force forward for you and your team to make it successful. So I look forward to hearing from you and the opportunity to sit down and talk about how God has put all these things together for His good and His glory. Thank you. Bye.